Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Block Thrasher Daily Morning Crypto Update, where we are simplifying crypto, helping you make the best decisions with your cryptocurrency investments. We are shattering the complexities of crypto with news, commentary, analysis, and education. My name is Justin Cummins, and it is Thursday, April 1st. You know what that means. That's right. April Fool's Day. Are you the kind of person that likes to joke, to have fun, to go out and try to prank people? I know I am. Actually, this brings us to the word of the day, which is jocular. 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 Jocular is used to describe, it is given to, characterized by, intended for, or suited to joking or jesting. Hey, what's the best April Fool's prank you've ever pulled off? Or what's the best that you've ever been a victim of? I remember the one that comes to my mind is one of my friends, and this was years ago, but he pulled on his wife. His wife was sort of the kind that didn't pay attention to what the day was, that sort of thing. So she was easy prey when it came to April Fools. Anyway, but what he did was he got a friend of his. He got a friend of his that she didn't know to call and say, "Hello, Mrs. Kiesling. This is so-and-so from the power company." It was somewhere in California. This is from the power company, and we're running a test in your neighborhood. We are trying to determine capacity load on the grid, and so we need your help. Would you be willing to help? And she says, "Yeah. What do you need me to do?" He says, and obviously, my friend, he's listening in on this while his friend is pulling all this. I was like, "We need you to go and turn on every electric device you have in the house." "Oh, okay." She says, "Okay, well, all right. So she's got the blender going. She's got the dishwasher going. She's got the refrigerator going. You're like, she's got, all this stuff going." And finally, the guy says to her, "Okay, did you, I forget what it was, but it was like, did you plug in the electric mower in the garage or something?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, I plugged that in." And then she's like, "Wait a second. How do you know I have that in the garage?" And that's when the husband comes on, a Mr. Kiesling, and he's like, "Ha ha, April Fools." I thought that was a good one. So maybe you can try something like that on one of your friends or family today or whatnot. But yeah, April Fools. It's always fun. And we talked about this yesterday. I guess April Fools is also National Burrito Day. So I don't know what that means. I guess we're all supposed to eat burritos. Maybe grab a nice breakfast burrito or something. Anyway, that will wrap up the word of the day segment. Jocular, Jocular. Someone who likes to joke and tease. Let's look at the cryptocurrency market and see what's happening today. Start with the total market capitalization, which is $1.9 trillion. It's actually down 2.35% over the in the last 24 hours, which is interesting. What I think is happening here is what we sort of speculated would happen yesterday, where a lot of money is moving out of the stable coins and into some of the cryptos, some of the top 10 and some of the others as well. Bitcoin is really just stuck. I mean, it does not seem to be able to break through that $60,000 resistance level at this moment. It is up 13.99% on the week, but no real change in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is currently $59,256. But it's doing well. It's doing well. This is good. It's real. We made it through the entire month into April without any significant decrease, which, we've talked about numerous times. Historically, March is a month in which the market can, bull markets can come to die, but that didn't happen. We are here. We are in April, and actually is looking like we are trending the other way. Ethereum seeing a nice, really nice boost this week, up 20% over the last 7 days, up 5.49% in the last 24 hours. It is now $1,935.84. Way to go, Ethereum. Binance Coin, though, just killing it. Wow, total market cap of $50 billion there for Binance Coin. Up 40.32% over the week. Binance Coin performing incredibly well, up 6.36 in the last 24 hours. It is now $327.91. Tether is just stuck at $1. Oh, couldn't help myself. See, sometimes that's the thing. In an attempt to be jocular, it just end up being stupid. Cardano. Poor Cardano. Cardano also looking a lot like Tether these days, stuck right around $1. It's interesting because there's a lot of movement happening with Cardano with the release of the new wallet. Downloaded and checked that out yesterday. It's compatible with the multi-asset, I believe it's called. Yeah, native assets. So you can send and receive those native tokens that have been created on the Cardano blockchain. And it also, the big news of the day, it was yesterday, I believe, that Cardano became fully decentralized. So all of the blocks are now being generated by private people, entities that are running the validator nodes, the staking pools, right? And so the federated system is a no more with Cardano. Good, move in the good move in the right direction. So all positive news, but none of that news really having an impact on the Cardano price, which, it is up 7.56% on the week, but, nowhere near the all-time high or the recent all-time highs was similar to even the previous all-time high, $1.30. I think, it pumped for a minute to $1.80 or something when Coinbase launched on Coinbase Pro, but that was just really an anomaly. So we'll see what happens with Cardano. I think we're going to need to see some. Of course, you never know, but we're probably gonna be waiting until the launch of Alonso and the smart contracts on that platform, which will be coming here in shortly. Polkadot doing well, up 27.79% on the week, up 4.28%. Last 24 hours, it is $38.41. XRP is also up 57 cents. Uniswap starting to recover. It had been struggling for a bit, up 10% on the week, 3% in the last 24 hours. Uniswap, $29.41. Now, Filecoin is the breakout, story of the day. Filecoin just blast off mode right up into the top 10, up 148.29% on the week. This thing is just unstoppable at the moment, up 38.67% in the last 24 hours. Filecoin is now $231. Wow. That is good to see. And a thought with that is, will that, similarly to the way to how Theta, broke into the top 10 last week. And now, of course, Theta down at number 12, struggling just a bit, but not still holding it close to its all-time high. But will these projects, right? Will they bring attention to the other projects, the similar projects, the competitor projects, like in the case of Filecoin, Siacoin, and what are the other ones? There's a couple others that are similar that are not just popping into my mind right now. We've talked about them recently, though. Storage is the other one. Recently listed on Coinbase as well. So we could keep an eye on Storage and see if it has some sort of, has a similar trajectory in coming weeks. Just a thought. Litecoin is up 2.32% to $100.98. $198.95, up 15% almost on the week, looking good. Chainlink is seeing a bounce, up 10% in the last 24 hours. It is now $30.34. You know, it's interesting because so many of these coins would have been in the top 10 or closer, but there's just other tokens coins that are performing so well currently. That, you know, it's fun though. There's been a lot of recently. There's been a lot of movement in and out of the top 10, but that's great. That is awesome to see. It just shows that, you know, some of the projects that are bringing real use and utility rising to the top, and some of the others that are sort of just, maybe they've been around a while, but then they're really not providing a solution per se, sort of being pushed down. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Anyway, there's lots of green across the market, especially on the weekly time frame. I mean, we're Bitcoin Cash up close to 15%, Clay up 43%, Stellar up 14%. Dogecoin, even Dogecoin hit 6 cents for just a little bit last night. And this was because good old our buddy Elon Musk is tweeting about Dogecoin again. And he tweeted something to the effect of, you know what he's doing here? Before I say what he tweeted, I'll finish my thought. He tweeted that he's going to take Dogecoin literally to the moon, right? But what he's doing is he's bringing attention to his project, SpaceX, and there's another thing that he's setting up. I forget what it's called, but it's connected to SpaceX, and it was in the tweet. And this is it's brilliant. He's not promoting Dogecoin. I mean, you know, maybe unintentionally, maybe in a playful, fun way, but this is genius marketing on his part because he knows everybody's going to talk about it, and it brings attention to what he's doing with SpaceX. And so anyway, enough about that. Dogecoin up 10% to 0.05921. And like I say, Tron up 59%. Like I say, we're seeing a lot of green all across the market right now. US is up 12%. So market's looking good. You know, it'll be interesting to see if we cross the 2 trillion mark here in terms of total capitalization. That would be phenomenal. Here's something interesting. If you haven't heard of OpenSea, OpenSea is probably, if not the largest NFT marketplace. And it's an Ethereum NFT marketplace, and it is introducing gas-free transactions. Obviously, if you've been paying attention to anything that's going on in the crypto space in regard to Ethereum and Ethereum transactions, actually, we didn't cover that today. What are the gas fees like currently? Oh, they're still painful. 234 GUI for a standard transaction. So the cost of these transactions is prohibitive. If you're an artist and you want to create some digital art and turn it into an NFT on the Ethereum platform and offer it for sale, you're looking at $100 plus, $150, maybe more. And this can just be prohibitive. So OpenSea is providing a solution to this. They have a new collaboration which is helping people do this. So here's what this Crypto Slate article says. Try issuing a non-fungible token NFT on Ethereum, and chances are you'll spend upwards of $150 in gas. Yeah, man, that's the problem. $150 in gas to simply approve, mint, and host your crypto art, virtual land, or digital collectible on the world's most used blockchain. So the fee stems from the charges you'd pay to miners. So here's what they're doing. OpenSea, one of the world's biggest NFT marketplaces, is trying to solve that via a new partnership with Immutable X. Immutable X, it said in a release shared with Crypto Slate. So this is interesting. This Immutable X is a layer 2 platform that runs alongside Ethereum with settlement on the Ethereum network. There's 0 gas fees. instant trades. They claiming to be able to do 9,000 transactions per second, and bring scalability for games, applications, marketplaces, etc., without compromise. So this is interesting. We'll see if this pans out and works well. If it does, that's going to be a great thing. Really, really great solution. Yeah, there we go. 9,000 transactions per second and 0 gas fees. I like it. All right. Moving on to the next story of the day. Roubini comes out as Satoshi Nakamoto, signs with private key. The biggest Bitcoin critic and the world's renowned economist, Roubini, that, notorious Keynesian economist, is Satoshi Nakamoto. Our months-long investigation can reveal. Presented with indisputable evidence, Roubini said in an email exchange, "You got me," explaining why he has been so vocal against Bitcoin. He said, "Chiefly because I did not want people to think in any way it was me, and because Bitcoin has to stand up to scrutiny to level up." Roubini said he saw the coming banking crash. Quote, "As I famously predicted, so he felt he had the responsibility to, quote, save the world, because no one else believed the banking system was to collapse. He then started searching online for any way to create hard money in a digital form that is outside the banking system. He said, I'm an economist. I know money very well. So I wanted to recreate this new digital medium, the most perfect money, just in case banks go belly up." Okay, this is just, the reason this is so funny is because obviously this is a April Fool's prank piece here. This would never, ever happen. All right, moving on to some real true stories. Okay, we've talked about THETA. Let's look at THETA real quick in terms of market cap and price. How's THETA doing? THETA got pushed down to number 12. It is currently $12.18 though, which is, it's still doing very, very well. We've talked about the need for THETA in the marketplace because of issues that arise. Well, here's a story from Zero Hedge that illustrates some of what those issues are. So YouTube has unveiled a hide feature after mass dislikes on Biden videos. Basically, to summarize what's going on here is, well, you know what? This is actually, I'm going to read what they said. The tech giant says that it's being done in response to targeted dislike campaigns and creator feedback around well-being. All right. This is the part that was particularly interesting. In response to creator feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, we're testing a few new designs that don't show the public dislike count, YouTube announced on Twitter. If you're part of this small experiment, you might spot one of these designs in the coming weeks. So what they're doing is they're removing the dislike count because, these poor creators' feelings are hurt when people don't like their videos. And then they're claiming that these are targeted attacks on, Biden's videos because one video had something like 800 likes and 60,000 dislikes. The interesting thing about it is that people have to, these are Google users' emails. I don't know what their internal systems are to try to figure out what is a legitimate dislike, or what constitutes an attack or doesn't constitute an attack or whatever. But THETA and blockchain solves this issue because if you want to get on there and like or dislike a video, it's connected to your wallet and it's on the blockchain and it's transparent and everyone can see it. With Google, we don't know. We don't know what's going on. Nobody knows, right? It's all hidden. It's all centralized. So Google further states, viewer feedback has always been and will continue to be an important part of YouTube, but we've heard from creators that the public dislike counts can impact their well-being and maybe and may motivate a targeted campaign of dislikes on a creator's video. It's amazing where we've come to as a society in terms of the sensitivity level that we've got to care about someone's well-being. It's like, shoot, there's things that happen every single day in life that affect well-being, right? You're driving down the road and you happen to be going 5 miles or 10 miles over speed limit because you're not aware, because the speed limit just changed on you. You get pulled over by a police officer and you get a ticket, and it's very expensive, and the whole thing is dramatic and traumatic and stressful and costly, and it's not very good for your well-being. So what do we do? Stop enforcing speed limit laws? It is interesting because there are European countries which have tried that, and they just basically set up one rule: be courteous. And what they found was that when they removed all speed limit signs, stop signs too, and did more go-arounds and stuff like this, people ended up driving slower and more cautiously, and the number of accidents actually decreased. Because there's this funny thing within us. When the speed limit's 65, we want to go 75. If the speed limit's 55, we only want to go 65. If they change the speed limit to 75, well then by golly, I'm going to go 85, It's just how we are as humans, right? But then go on further and further, this well-being thing. Like, man, I sure would feel a lot better if I had a cup of. Oh, I don't have the money for a cup of coffee. Well, maybe we should give everybody, free coffee, because that's going to help them get going in the morning and improve their well-being. Or maybe, where do we stop with the well-being? I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent here. Sorry about that. So we've heard they say, YouTube, from creators, that the public dislike counts can impact their well-being and may motivate a targeted campaign of dislikes on a creator's video. So we're testing designs that don't include the visible dislike or visible like or dislike count in an effort to balance improving the creator experience while still making sure viewer feedback is accounted for and shared with the creator. That doesn't seem to make sense. The dislikes hurt the creator's well-being, so we're only going to share the dislikes with the creator and not let the public see it. Anyway, a majority of responses on both the Twitter announcement and on the support page disapprove of the idea. I wonder if that hurts YouTube's well-being. The people over at YouTube, that everybody on Twitter just is disliking and disapproving of their new idea to not show dislikes. With some comments suggesting the move is a consequence of the tremendous imbalance of dislikes on the present administration's videos on their White House channel. Oh, man. It just gets kind of ridiculous, and this is the problem here. The politicization of everything. And so then when you have a centralized entity running the media platform, they get to do whatever they want. They get to decide. They get to manipulate, rather than the people using the platform being able to determine and to decide. Some other commentators expressed concerns that it would not be good for people who want to obtain feedback about the video quality, whether it be for creators or viewers. In January, YouTube deleted what appears to be thousands of dislikes from videos on the official channel of President Joe Biden's White House. The company said it is part of its regular efforts to remove engagement it considers inauthentic. People on the platform noticed that dislikes have been disappearing by the thousands from several White House videos and started posting before and after screenshots on social media shortly after the incoming administration took over the channel and published its first videos. The screenshots indicate a total of at least 16,000 dislikes were removed from at least 3 videos. Even after the adjustments, the 5 videos on the channel had about 14,000 likes combined versus nearly 60,000 dislikes. So what YouTube is basically, Google YouTube is admitting here is that they're now running algorithms, right, that are, or maybe even just interjecting, manually, but I'm guessing algorithmically, to adjust the likes and the dislikes on videos, right, which determines which videos get seen and which videos become popular and viral, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On and on and on. In response to a screenshot of one of the videos, YouTube told the Epoch Times that it's monitoring engagement on the site to detect and remove activity it considers spam, so that only engagement it considers organic remains. The mechanism worked as intended in the case of the Biden video, the company stated. YouTube regularly removes any spam, likes, or dislikes from your videos, the company stated in a 2019 tweet. It may take up to 48 hours for the numbers to be updated. So they got to meddle. They got to go in and they got to meddle. And the thing about it is it's an equal playing ground. So if people are spamming dislikes, then other people are going to spam likes, right? The whole thing is just kind of silly. It isn't clear how YouTube discerns, some say discern, but I think it's properly said discern. It isn't clear how YouTube discerns between authentic and inauthentic engagement. The company didn't immediately respond to a request for further details. No one wants this, Nerdrotic, a pop culture YouTuber, tweeted, adding, dislikes are helpful for a great many things, and this is what puts YouTube above all others. YouTube and its owner, Google, have long faced accusations of political bias. The companies have said their products are developed and run as politically neutral, but employee accounts and leaked internal materials indicate the companies are indeed infusing their politics into their products. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. When you have this centralized entity like Google running this platform, they are going to be targeted. They're going to be accused of infusing their politics, and it's likely that they will. I mean, why wouldn't they? They own it all. It's theirs to do what they will with as they will. I mean, unless it was determined to be a public utility by the government, and I mean, I know there are some issues there where they do have certain protections because of the nature of their platform and whether or not they should continue to receive those protections. I forget the legislation specifically, 249 something, I forget, but as soon as they start to meddle and they start to censor and they do all these kinds of things, which they do, those protections should probably go away, because then they're starting to influence, rather than just be a platform. They're becoming essentially an opinion type of entity, right? So Theta blockchain removes all of these issues because it can be publicly governed if it's decentralized, and the users and the creators and the people are the ones with the power to decide whether we're going to show or not show, or have a system with likes and dislikes and these sorts of things. So Google shifted millions of votes in the November 3rd, 2020 presidential election by pushing its political agenda onto its users, according to research psychologist Robert Epstein, who assembled a team of more than 700 voters to monitor what results they were receiving from channels such as search results, reminders, search suggestion, and news feeds ahead of the election. Okay, all right. So whatever. Maybe not. Who knows? But the potential is there. The possibility is there. All right, Musk. Well, we talked about that. Starbase, that's what it was called. Musk is tweeting that he's going to put Dogecoin. SpaceX is going to put a literal Dogecoin on the literal moon. Oh, yeah. Except there is no such thing as a literal Dogecoin. I guess they can take a Dogecoin wallet. I mean, it's just kind of silly. Obviously, it's just a record on the blockchain. All right, moving on to the next story, another segment here. Bank of International Settlement calls for international cooperation on CBDCs. Augustin Carsons, and we've been talking about this quite a bit of late, made the remarks during a speech at the event in Basel. All right, these guys published a new document offering suggestions on central bank digital currencies And the reason I want to talk about this is because we have this other story today about the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank launching the first union-backed CBDC. On Wednesday, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, also known as the ECCB, not to be confused with the ECB, the European Central Bank, officially launched what they're calling Dcash, its central bank digital currency. Dcash is a digital version of the Eastern Caribbean dollar, which is the official currency for 8 Caribbean nations. The ECCB has partnered with fintech provider BITT, B-I-T-T, for those listening, to oversee infrastructure and operation of the brand new digital currency. So when I saw this, I thought, well, who are these BITT people? And this here is the BITT website, BITT.com. It's a great looking website. They state on it that in 2019, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, ECCB, and the Barbados-based fintech company BITT Inc. signed a contract to conduct a blockchain-issued central bank digital currency, CBDC, pilot with the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, the ECCU. During this pilot, the ECCB will mint a digital version of the Eastern Caribbean dollar. It's going to have the ticker symbol of DXCD as legal tender. To participate in the pilot, register with a financial institution or an approved service provider. Download the DXCD mobile wallet application. All right, this is how it's going to work. You're going to download the mobile wallet application, which is free from mobile app stores. Then you'll be able to manage funds, make purchases, and pay your bills. You can acquire DXCD by cashing in physical notes and coins or converting funds from your bank account. Through implementation of the pilot, the ECCB hopes to increase opportunities for financial growth, competitiveness, and resilience for citizens of the ECCU. It will address the following recurring issues: relatively high cost of current payment methods and banking services within the ECCU. See, this is interesting because what is happening here? If I was a bank, I would be concerned about this whole central bank digital currency thing, because this first issue that they talk about right here, getting rid of the high cost of current payment methods and banking services, means that you don't need the banks anymore. If you can go directly from the central bank, the issuer of the currency, in this case the digital DXCD, right to the consumer, who then goes right to the merchant, all with this digital mobile wallet that's been downloaded from the App Store onto their phone. Who do you cut out? You're cutting out the banks, you're cutting out Visa, you're all kinds of intermediaries which have been there before. And that's what crypto did. Crypto was all about cutting out those intermediaries to take away that cost. And this does this. And this could be one of the benefits of, or at least perceived benefits, though it's kind of a sneaky thing, and I'll explain why, but of the central bank digital currencies, because it's like, great. So now I get my dollars directly, I exchange what I currently have. But eventually the whole thing will be your employer also has the wallet, also gets paid in the digital currency. Then they pay you directly, instantaneously, without the fees and everything else. We're not talking, so it's like a direct deposit, except for it's not a direct deposit, because with direct deposit, you're dealing with banks and you're dealing with intermediaries, you're dealing with third parties, and so there's time delays and all these sorts of things, which could be instant. So you get your paycheck, boom. People are going to like that. They're going to be like, awesome, great, boom. Velocity of money speeds up, all this, and then boom, you have it in your wallet, and then you go out and you spend it directly to the merchant who has the central bank's digital currency wallet. And bye-bye merchant service providers, bye-bye banking services, et cetera, et cetera. And then eventually it goes into the realm of, well, we're gonna give you loans as well. Lower interest rate loans, and all of it can just be swallowed up, potentially, by the central bank. And then, what else do they say? Number 2 is inadequacy of banking services in addressing the needs of various customers. Okay, inefficient methods of settling check transactions which slow the pace of commerce. Sure. But here's the thing. Pay or transfer money without fees in real time. No bank account required. Send money instantly to family, friends, and businesses within the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Secure and safe platform. No minimum spending amount. As in the case of card payment products, no minimum balance required. Personal digital reports, financial reports provide real-time access to transaction records. And this is where it really gets interesting, because when you think about it right now, the intermediaries and the complexity of the financial system and the way that banking works and merchant service providers work and all of this for businesses and users, is like this data is out there just all over the place. And of course, increasingly so, that data has been available to the IRS or to other government entities just because they ask for it, and then it's handed over. But it's cumbersome, and it's takes time, and that's expensive, and all that sort of thing. But if they can go to digital currency like this with mobile wallets, every single thing, every last single thing, transaction gets recorded on a blockchain. Obviously not an open blockchain, a permissioned, not a permissionless blockchain, not a publicly available, viewable blockchain, but it's all there. And so you will be able to get and this is going to also appear to be a vast, wonderful improvement over the current system, because, oh, look, you have personal digital financial reports, as they state here on BitDoes on the website, provide real-time access to transaction records. You can get a transaction record. You can get everything you've ever done, everything you've ever bought, everything you've ever sold, every purchase, everything, right? So from an efficiency standpoint, great. Terrible from a privacy standpoint. Terrible. And it isn't just privacy, because somebody's going to throw out, well, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, it doesn't really matter. And that's true. But this allows for massive control and power, potentially, if it's abused. Now, maybe it never gets abused. Fine. But that's unlikely. How can it be abused? It can easily be abused. It can be abused in such ways as getting more granular in the way we're going to use this financial system to punish certain behaviors, punish certain products, companies, people, you name it. I mean, once that ability is there to have that granularity of what everyone is doing, we start to say, look, okay, well, we deem this activity to be bad. And so if you buy that type of product, anyway, you can run with that where that might go, right? And this is happening in China already. And you might even see something where you get a consumer score based upon what you purchase and what you do, and all kinds of things. I mean, they're just... So they're stating that they also provide privacy and confidentiality of all your transaction information. This is going to be something that we're going to probably be talking about a lot moving forward in the coming years, because this CBDC thing is just going to happen. We're headed in that direction. This has been something I think that's been desired for a long time. I don't know how it'll work, or I think of places like the U.S. There's still many unbanked people that choose not to bank. There's many immigrants, etc., who operate primarily or almost solely, completely, 100% on cash. So, what would happen if they sort of did a 1933 style, where we covered that a few days back if you didn't hear the podcast, where they made it illegal to own gold, and you had to turn your gold in for dollars. Well, they could do the same thing with physical cash. They could just say, no more. All physical cash has to be exchanged for digital cash, and it's no longer legal tender. Is that possible? Maybe. I don't know. It's interesting to speculate about, think about. We'll talk about it more, I'm sure. All right, friends. Thank you so much for your time. It's another great day to learn more about crypto, to stack and earn more crypto. I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow and seeing what new events have emerged. All right, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Press on. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. please be sure to go to blockthrasher.com and snag an account if you haven't as of yet. If you want to get some engagement, talking with other crypto users, jump into the Facebook group. It's facebook.com/groups/blockthrasher. Vibrant community there. It's a good place to get questions answered if you need questions answered. All right, I look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Have a great day. See you now. Bye.